better late than never, right? So if you haven't been following the story, let me give you a quick summary. It's a little quick wrap-up of what's been going on. Down in Antarctica, they had a Russian research expedition, and they were doing global warming, and they got stuck in the ice down in Antarctica, right? So then they called on the Chinese to come rescue them. Well, then the Chinese got stuck in the ice as well, so then the next plan of attack was to have the United States Coast Guard come in and rescue both of them. Well, lo and behold, oddly enough, they happen to break free on their own, and now they no longer need to be rescued by the United States, and everything's good to go. Very odd anticlimactic ending to all this stuff. But what's even more peculiar than that is they have this little video, right? What do you got right there? Nice little X, huh? Tribute to Saturn right there. So the X represents the four sides of the cube plus the pyramid, right? 'Cause we're not struggling with flesh and blood, but powers and principalities in high places. You look down over a pyramid, if you're high above it, you're going to see an X inside a box, basically. It's all the same, doesn't matter. It's Saturn, no matter what. Ain't that neat? And that's not there to mark the landing spot or pad for the helicopter, because I've been watching the story since it came out, and I was watching one of the updates before this ending on CNN, and they had all the people out there linked up like a person chain, a people chain, whatever you want to call it. And I'm sure they were just symbolizing they were completing a circuit, but it doesn't matter. And they were walking up and down, stomping on the snow and ice because they were creating a landing pad. They were marking a landing zone for the helicopter. So that's not what that X is there for. But who knows for sure, right? But what's interesting about all this stuff, right, because we think that they're down there drilling, trying to get to this cube that's buried deep in the center of the earth, beneath all that ice and what have you. And back in 2012 is when they got to that Lake Vostok, right? A subglacial glacier lake that's 200 miles beneath the ice. And we think that's where the cube might be that they're trying to get to. What's interesting is that in 2012, as they breached Lake Vostok, there was a movie that came out called Nazis at the Center of the Earth. It was about researchers in Antarctica that were abducted by a team of masked stormtroopers that are dragged deep underground to a hidden continent in the center of the Earth. Great find by my wife, I think. Very, very good stuff. A little too coincidental for me, but I'm not trying to make anybody believe anything. Now, someone else showed me this too, because this was awesome. Really great find. YouTube user Duba, thank you very much for sending this to me. There's a place in Vermont called Satan's Kingdom. There's also a place in Massachusetts called Satan's Kingdom Wildlife Management Area. Now, let me read you some of these comments. I'm sure you're asking, because I was, like my wife as well when I showed her this, why would anyone name a place after the Prince of Evil? All paid for by your tax dollars too. And this Stan guy was really nice and offered to help me out. Said I could always pay him back later, would visit again. I make deliveries here often, and if I wear headphones, I can hardly notice the screams. Too many lawyers, otherwise it's okay. Do not ever try to go there. Too many people mysteriously never come back. While impressive that it was founded by a simple apple peddler, hospitality was lacking, and finding the exit was harder than in even the most confusing IKEA. Interesting comments to go along with this Satan's Kingdom. And what's even more spooky than that is if you get to some of these pictures, like this one here, you know what you see? There's the seal of Saturn right there. There's your X in the cube, in the box. If you go to this guy, up here, you know what you get? There's Saturn right there. And even got the colors, right? We talk about the rainbow every now and then. Whether or not it used to be evil, it doesn't matter. It's evil now because they use this, all these colors, the rainbow. That's why they had the Trayvon Martin. That's why he was found with Skittles, taste the rainbow. Because regardless of what it meant before, it's an evil thing now because it represents how we see everything now. We got one true light signal from the Creator, and then they busted it, so now we get these rainbows of colors and different frequency. It's all a big scrambled fractal mess that we get. That's why they cover one eye. Your celebrities and the president, and they wink because we're not seeing the whole picture. We're seeing a scrambled, distorted, fractal reality that we're stuck in. And then here, I mean, even this, even with the guy who is saying, why would you name it Satan? This is even suspect to me because he's got the same colors. These are like with your Windows logo, which is just a time cube. And this is Google and suspect colors here too. And this is why, by the way, just think of this as like a power bar. Green is, the beginning, good, halfway, quarter way, and then red, out of power. Or just think of, how about this? 4 faces of a person, right? You're an infant, you're a baby, you're a teenager, you're an adult, and then you're like a senior citizen. So baby, teenager, kid, adult, grandparent, baby, teenager, parent, grandparent. That's why you always hear them going green. They're always saying go green, go green, go green, because this is a power bar, and we're at the end, and they want to reboot the system. They want to start all over again. So they want to go green so they can restart the stuff all over again. That's why you even hear the whole economic thing, the collapse being called the global economic reset, because they want to restart this thing. And then even have them here minus the red. So, I mean, it's all very suspect to me. Doesn't mean that it is. Doesn't mean that I'm right. But it looks that way to me. But I'm not telling you have to believe any of this stuff. So, just thought I'd share it with you. Anticlimactic end to the Antarctic saga. But that doesn't mean that they weren't doing anything. I had somebody say that they think all this Antarctica stuff and all this, news is just drama, which I'm sure it is, because he said, like, they were, well, it could have been a she too, that they're probably just waiting on the perfect date. This is probably all drama and just, for the eyes to see and the people with the eyes to see and the ears to hear, as signs that this stuff is coming, and all they're doing is just waiting on it on a specific date to get, to open the cube, to release them, to bring hell on Earth and the return of the golden age of Saturn. And it's interesting that we hear July 27th as the gates of hell opening, and then you got the World Trade Center doing spooky sounds. So I don't know if any of this stuff is any way or shape or form connected. Just thought it was interesting, wanted to share with everybody. So thanks for sticking through my ramblings. I appreciate all the support out there. Thanking my teammates and subs as always for supporting me and the channel and my band. And thanks everybody again for watching and taking your time out today. So